and it looked like my VID000 is working, so I'm gonna continue recording while I can. I mean, not that my VID000 is destroyed or anything like that, but it was acting up a little bit yesterday. But it seems to be working perfectly today. And I had just previously been talking about the death of Osama bin Laden, and I'm not completely done talking about it, so I'm just gonna talk about it some more on this video. And like I said, you know, with the death of Osama bin Laden, his what the government called the US government called the Al-Qaeda organization, I'm sure they've thought of Osama's worst case scenario in which he dies. So I'm sure that has gone across the minds of his soldiers and his followers. So they have things planned out. And I mean, what the government called the Al-Qaeda organization is pretty sophisticated. Even if it seems like, you know, they don't have the advanced weaponry that the US military have. But Afghanistan has been fighting, you know, those militia type wars for a long time, and you know, they've been proven to be successful in fighting against a more advanced military. And one example would be the Soviet Union, and in which, you know, they defeated the Soviets even though they had more advanced weaponry. So the way the Islamic people, the way they think is different from those in other religions in that, well, it's not completely different. In most religions, people think there's an afterlife after death. So, and the same goes in the Islamic religion. You know, Muslims think that they have a life after death. And so, you know, with that kind of mentality, you know, even with the announcement of Osama's death, I think, you know, what people will think is that Osama bin Laden became a martyr. And he is probably considered a saint to a lot of Muslims. And so, in the case that Osama is truly, and you know, without any question, dead, you know, his death is a fact, you know, that doesn't end the war. And I think the war that's going on right now, you know, a lot of Islamic people believe it's a holy war, and that war will continue. Whoa, what is this car thinking? And so the Muslims will continue to fight their holy war, as long as there are people believing in Islam. And the war will go on for generations. Many, many generations later, there will still be a war, because what the government called the Al-Qaeda group is sophisticated enough and patient enough that they can take their time into planning out, their next offensive. So, they don't have to make a retaliation immediately, just because of the news that Osama bin Laden is dead. And it will be a long time before they may even, pull out an offensive. So, this war, I don't think will ever end as long as there are Muslim people, Muslim believing in Islam. So, and for the most part of the population and the people in the Middle East, they are very faithful and devotional to the religion of Islam. So, as long as you have Islam, the Muslims will continue their holy war. And there's no end to that. Unless, the Islamic religion suddenly ends and is wiped out from the face of the earth. And I don't think that will ever happen. So, it's going to be a very, very long war. Even if it, seems like the U.S. have won, it's more than likely that the Al-Qaeda group, what the U.S. government called the Al-Qaeda group, has gone dormant and is just waiting for their right time to strike again. So, anyway, this is USS Princeton 2004 signing out.